Can you hear me?
Hello, yes,
Hello, right, excellent. Tell me, how are you?
fine.
Fine, great, excellent. Tell me, how is study going?
Great.
Great. Okay, excellent. That's really good. Okay, so Kenya, do you have any questions or comments about we learned last class?
No.
No, any questions? Okay, so the last class we did some exercises. And today we are going to do a quiz. So we need to wait it by Carlos a little. Um, so, well, okay. Well, while we are waiting to Carlos, we can do an exercise. So give me a second. I'm going to share my screen. Can you see my screen, Kenya?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so today we are going to start with the unit 10, visualize. And well, in this unit, we are going to learn use simple past with regular verbs, irregular verbs, to make questions, and simple past, respond news with good for you and other expressions. Say you did to show surprise or interest. And obviously, we are going to read a blog like in the other units. Some, um, we are going to check it the first. This is the lesson A. Lesson A, a night at home. So we have here some images and we have a question. We ask people, what did you do last night? What did you do last night? And we have here different activities. For example, well, my wife rented a movie, so we watched that. But I didn't like it much, Peter. Can you read it next, please?
Yes. I tried to study from math exam. Will my roommate practice her flute? Mal.
Float. While my roommate practiced her float. Okay, let me think. I stayed home, played a video game with some friends, and listened to music. That's it. Josh, can you read it next?
Yes. I chatted online with my friend Jay. She's living in Italy.
Mm-hmm,
The
definitely. I just worked late and then cleaned the house, the usual. Rachel. The next, please.
yes. I didn't want to go out, so I invented a
Light
couple
it.
invited a couple of friends um, over and we cooked dinner. Melissa.
Cooked.
Cook.
Cooked. Okay, Melissa. So how you can see, we have the structure simple past. And we have here the verb. This is a verb. This is other verb. This is other verb, but this verb has this before. So how you can see, the structure is really similar to present simple, but we change the verb according we have a sentence affirmative or a sentence negative. Mhm. So the rule could be similar to present simple when we have um when we have I think that this I can see it. Okay. Yeah. When we have a subject plus verb, you know that the verb change and could be add s or es at the final according at the subject that you have. But here's different. We use is and ed by all the verbs that are regulars and other verbs are irregulars. And we use this auxiliary when we have a negative question, a negative sentence, like in present. In present, we use do or does. So in this case, I write here me auxiliary in past. In this case, is didn't, did, and I use my verb, but my verb it's infinitive. It's in this simple verb or in verb in present, but that the verb that didn't end or don't end with s or es. So by this, we need to check it the presentation. Give me a second. I'm going to share my screen. Hello, Carlos. Welcome to the
Hello.
class. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So today we are going to learn verb to be on simple past tense. So we need to learn first verb to be and continue with the next verbs on past. So first, we have here the verb be in past. The verb be change like in simple present, but in this case, I only have two ways to write: was and were. So I can write was, I was, he was, she was, it was, or I can write you were, we were, they were. So we have here two options. Was is by the subject I, he, she, and it, and where is you, we, and they. Do you have any questions or comments here about verb to be in past?
No.
No.
By negative, the negative form, we have the long form and the short form. In the long form, we only add the not next to the verb be in past. So could be I was not. And the short form, we made a contraction similar in present simple. I join or I match was and not. In this case, it wasn't. So, so I can write I was not or I wasn't. You were not, you weren't. He was not, he wasn't. She was not, uh, she wasn't. Here, I have here a mistake. So here it wasn't, okay? And it was not, it wasn't. We were not, we weren't. They were not, they weren't. Do you have any questions or comments here?
No.
No. Okay, so continue to affirmative, negative. We have the questions and the same structure. We write first the verb be, we write the subject, if it's necessary the complement, and the question mark. This is really easy, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have here some examples. I was naughty boy. I was a naughty boy. Fui un niño travieso. No, she was in Germany. Ella estuvo en Alemania. Francisco was a tennis player. The dog was very happy. Angel was a true friend for us. We were in the same mathematics class, and it was a beautiful night. So how you can see, now the verb has the same meaning, es ser o estar, pero en este caso hay que conjugarlo en pasado. Entonces yo estuve, yo fui, ellos fueron, nosotros fuimos, estuvimos. ¿Vale? ¿Hasta aquí alguna duda, alguna pregunta?
No.
No. Check it next. So we have heard the use for simple past. We can use simple past to talk about some actions before the noun. Son acciones y hechos antes de la hora. I met my husband in 1993. I heard a terrible explosion last night. Lo podemos usar también para eventos que fueron verdad en el pasado. Some events that was true in the past. Maria lived in Buenos Aires for 3 years and the ticket was very expensive. So how you can see, for example, here, we have here last night and we have here a year or 3 years, and maybe here ago could be. Entonces también podemos tener indicadores que nos van a, pues, a darnos la idea de qué tiempo verbal es el que tengo que usar. Ajá, last night, ago, una fecha en específico. Ajá. ¿Hasta aquí alguna duda, alguna pregunta?
No.
No.
No. Check it next use. We can use to talk about habits and actions. But these actions and habits was in past. So these get complete in the past. For example, Juan got up at 7 o'clock. So how you can see, I change my verb get and I write got. That is the correct when I write past. So it's important to write my verb in past when I'm using past simple. Check it next. She walked to school every day, and the same. My verb here isn't present, it's in past to say that I did this activity maybe some years ago, some weeks ago, etc. We can use a simple past to say some actions that belong in past, no, that was in past. For example, the train left an hour ago. So do you have any other questions, comments here about the uses?
No.
No.
It's really easy. So the last use is to talk about actions that was in past, and these actions stop with other action. For example, two people walk into a restaurant when one of them say to the waiter. So how you can see, we have here two actions, two sentences. Now, two people walked into a restaurant. One of them say to the waiter. So this action was interrupted by this other action. So this action was in past, no? And this action was in past too. So in this case, to connect these two ideas, the two sentences, we use the connector one. Take it the other example. The policeman was walking when he saw a thief. And the same. In this case, now this is in past continuous, and the next sentence is in past. So I can use past, and I can match or join two sentences when I'm talking about past. Now using one, then past continuous or past simple. In this case, we are learning past simple. Do you have any questions or comments?
No.
No.
No. So this is the summary chart. So we have here the uses by simple past. When do we use simple past? Two series of complete actions habits in past, complete actions in the past, and duration in the past. And we have here, he sat down, took out a notebook and pen, start writing. He entered the room, turned in my direction and smiled at me. So these all activities, all these actions are in past. So can you take a screenshot of these, please?
Yeah.
Ready?
Ready.
Yeah.
Okay, so Carlos, can you read the next example, please?
Which habits?
Yes, habits in past.
Okay. Jen played the piano when she was a child. I was a,
Okay.
I was good at dancing when I was a teenager.
Teenager. Okay. Kenya, can you read the next, please? Complete actions in the past.
Yes. Sal baked a cake yesterday. I went to bed at 10 last night. We ordered pizza on Friday.
Okay, so the last, please, Carlos, duration in past.
He stayed up all night. We lived in Chicago for a year. We played baseball all day.
Okay. Do you have questions or comments here about vocabulary?
No.
What about you, Kenya? Questions about vocabulary?
No.
No. Okay, so check it next. This is the structure, no, to positive form, no. Remember, subject, verb on past, and the complement. The next structure. Okay, we have here the questions. ¿Cómo va el verbo? No, and you know that by verb to be we have two options, was or were, and we have here other verbs, and some verbs are regulars and others are irregulars. For example, here, this verb ate is the verb eat, and how you can see, this is a irregular verb, and it's the same like this. Went is the verb in past of go, and we have some other verbs that are regulars that ends with ed. For example, I wanted. I want. This is regular verb, and this is an irregular verb because the verb here is eat, and here the other verb is go. So here the verb is irregular because changed completely. Do you have questions or comments here about regulars and irregular verbs? Important here is to note that some verbs are regular and only you write the ed at the final, and other verbs are irregular, and it's important to remember, for example here, that the verb in past of eat is ate and the verb in past of go is went.
¿Y
Questions?
hay alguna razón por la que tenga que cambiar? ¿O así está la regla nada más?
Pues como tal, así es la regla, ¿no? Es, por ejemplo, no sé, pues por lo general en el inglés se encuentra muy fácil esto de los verbos que son regulares y verbos irregulares, ¿no? Hay unos verbos que sí cumplen con las reglas, como los vimos, por ejemplo, con los verbos, con los sustantivos regulares, que se seguían las reglas para hacerlos plural. Y vimos que otros sustantivos son irregulares, que no cumplen con las reglas para hacerlos plural, ¿no? Como en el caso de oveja, ¿no? O serie, ¿no?
Ujú.
Venado, que no cumplen con las reglas. Entonces aquí sí es necesario tratar de recordar la estructura y el verbo en pasado correcto.
Ok.
Any other questions?
No.
No. Okay, check it next. So we have here a chart of some verbs that are easier, and these verbs are some are regulars and others are irregulars. So we have here, for example, learn and learned, eat and ate, play and played, drink and drank, study and studied, do did, have had, talk taught, work worked, buy bought, read read, bright brought, go went. How you can see we have here, for example, read and read didn't change. We have read and read.
Right.
So we have here some verbs that are regulars and irregulars. So do you remember that we well I give you a verb list. Do you remember the verb
Uh-huh.
list? Do you remember checking the first verbs?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So what we're going to do? We're going to do the test. So the idea how I sent on WhatsApp is has a chart, a table on the book, on the notebook, on
Uh-huh.
the computer, on Word, or in PowerPoint, whatever that you want. And I'm going to say you the verbs in Spanish, and
Mhm.
you are going to write the verbs on all the tenses, right? ¿Todos
Right.
tienen la tablita?
Yes.
Sí.
Yes, ok, vale, entonces les voy a dar los verbos y ustedes los van a ir escribiendo. Ahorita los van a escribir todos de corrido en español y después los
Ujú.
van a escribir en inglés. Terminando de escribirlos, le toman una foto
Ujú.
o un screenshot, depende de dónde lo estén haciendo. Ajá, y van a mandarlo al grupo de WhatsApp, ¿vale?
Ok.
Entonces, ¿ya están listos?
Sí.
Yes.
Yes, ok. El primero va a ser ayudar.
Ayudar. Ok.
El segundo va a ser aprender.
Ujú.
El tercero va a ser cambiar. El cuarto va a ser abrir.
Ujú.
Quinto, amar.
Ujú.
Sexto, borrar.
Borrar.
Borrar. Séptimo, apresurarse. Octavo, bailar. Noveno, atreverse. Y el último va a ser aceptar.
Ok.
¿Listo? ¿Todos los tienen?
Yes.
Sí.
Yes, ok. Entonces, iniciamos. Les voy a dar, yo creo que 6 minutos, ¿vale? 6 minutos para que lo termine. Se termina el tiempo y mandan lo que tengan, ¿ok?
Ok.
Okay.
Done, teacher.
Ok, great, excellent. Ya justo estaba de terminarse el tiempo. Todavía hay tiempo, Kenia, ¿vale?
Okay.
Ah, tenemos aquí. Ajá. Really easy, right, Carlos?
Ajá.
Ok, vale. En lo que Kenia termina, voy a regresar a compartir mi pantalla. Dame un segundo. Ok, Kenia, ¿puedes mandar lo que ya tienes, por favor?
Yes.
Ok, thanks so much. Vale, entonces para continuar, ¿ok? Ok, thanks so much, Kenia, ¿vale? Únicamente, ahorita que estoy viendo, quiz se escribe así. Ya lo puse allí en WhatsApp, ¿vale? Quiz. Ok, vale, entonces nos quedamos aquí, ¿no? Tenemos aquí verbos en presente, en pasado, pero en este caso, pues también nos vamos a aprender el verbo en pasado, participio y cómo se escribe en gerundio, para que pues no se nos olviden, ¿vale? Porque también es importante. Después vamos a aprender el pasado participio, cuándo lo vamos a usar, ¿vale? Por el momento vamos a quedarnos con el pasado, pero sí es importante saberlos. Ok, entonces pasamos al que sigue. Tenemos aquí some examples. So we have here some examples. So Kenya, can you read the first example, please? And
Yeah.
can you translate it to Spanish?
When she has child, she learned how to play piano. Cuando ella era chica, ella aprendía cómo tocar el piano.
Aprendió.
Aprendió cómo tocar el piano.
Okay, Carlos, can you read next and translate it, please?
Yes. He wrote the note on your desk. Él escribió la nota en tu escritorio.
The next, please, Kenya.
I had a big dog with many spots.
Ajá,
Yo yo tenía un gran perro
ajá.
con algunos, mm,
Okay, spots, manchas. Yo tuve un gran perro con muchas
manchas.
manchas.
Okay,
El que
spots,
sigue, por favor.
manchas.
Spots, manchas. El que sigue, por favor, Carlos.
Okay. My favorite band went in a tour at New York. Mi
Ajá,
banda favorita fue a un tour en Nueva York.
ajá. El que sigue, por favor, Kenia.
Yes. I drank a cup of black tea and I didn't like it. So no thanks. Yo
Ajá,
bebí una taza de café negro y no me gustó. No me gustó eso. No, gracias.
ajá, exacto. Entonces, no, gracias. Entonces, no, gracias. Ok. El que sigue, por favor, Carlos.
I studied all night for my exam and I got a bad grade. Yo
Ujú.
estudié toda la noche para mi examen y obtuve un mal resultado o promedio.
Ajá, un mal resultado, un mal promedio, una mala nota,
Mala
¿no?
nota también.
So that's too bad. Okay, the next, please, Kenya.
Yes. I talked with him after he go in the taxi.
Ajá,
Hablé con él antes. No, después él se fue en el taxi.
ajá. Y la última, por favor, Carlos.
I worked for 3 years in a hotel. Trabajé por
Ujú.
3 años en un hotel.
Exactly. Ok, ¿hasta aquí hay alguna duda, alguna pregunta?
No, nomás era spots.
Ok, pues veamos el que sigue. Tenemos la forma negativa, negative form. Quedamos que si nuestro verbo no es verbo to be, pues tengo que usar was and were, ¿no? Este es en este caso del verbo to be, entonces sería sujeto, was, were, I'll not, mi verbo en infinitivo y mi complemento. Recuerden, verbo en infinitivo significa que yo no le voy a poner la S o la ES. Ajá. Cuando sea necesario escribirlo, ¿no? Por ejemplo, I don't know, I wasn't to drink, ¿no? O como vimos igual en las reglas de presente simple, vimos que le agregamos el to, ¿no? Y después del to, mi verbo continuaba en infinitivo. Este es únicamente para el uso del was were, ¿vale? Bueno, más bien cuando tengo el was were, voy a usar el to, ¿no? Tengo un verbo, y después de mi siguiente verbo tengo que poner un to. Pero si yo no quiero usar el was, were y yo quiero usar otro verbo diferente, yo nada más voy a usar el siguiente verbo. Yo no escribo was o were. Yo voy a usar un auxiliar como en el presente simple. En el presente simple nosotros usamos el auxiliar do. Y lo escribimos do siempre y cuando sea sujeto I, we, they, and you, right?
Right.
Y escribimos does siempre y cuando mi sujeto sea she,
Y
he, and it, ¿vale? Pero aquí en pasado, yo no voy a escribir do o does. Yo voy a usar mi verbo do, pero en pasado. Y mi verbo do en pasado es did. Ajá. Vamos a ver primero estos ejemplos. Tenemos aquí estos ejemplos con was, were. They were not friends. You wasn't polite with him. The teacher wasn't so bad. The tomatoes weren't ripe. My mom wasn't at home. Todos estos de aquí utilizan was o were y el not y después mi complemento, ¿no? Y si vemos estos de acá, creo que no los escribí. Aquí está. Si vemos estos de acá, tenemos I did not like potato. I didn't clean house. She didn't do homework. He didn't win the race. We didn't rate the glass for playing inside in home, and you didn't pay attention at class. Entonces, aquí mi verbo va a continuar en infinitivo, porque hay que acordarnos que cuando estamos usando un auxiliar, nuestro auxiliar ya nos está indicando tanto el tiempo verbal, o el sujeto que estoy utilizando. En presente, quedamos que hay que exponer dos y mi verbo que sigue va a estar en infinitivo, porque ya estoy indicando que es tercera persona.
Sí.
Y aquí no es necesario indicar si es primera, tercera persona, pero sí es necesario indicar que estoy hablando en pasado, por lo cual necesito usar el auxiliar did. ¿Hasta aquí alguna duda, alguna pregunta?
No.
Yes.
Yes. Ajá.
Entonces, si no se va a ocupar el verbo to be, se va a ocupar el did. No se va a poner el was o were.
Ajá, no se va a poner el was or were. Únicamente, por lo general, cuando hago oraciones con was y were, casi no les suelo poner otro verbo después. O sea, es como muy rara la vez que hagas una oración de yo estaba.
Playing, ejemplo, studying.
Ajá. No, yo estaba
Solo
estudiando, ¿no?
es más
Exacto.
para el pasado continuo, ¿no?
Ajá, pasado continuo. Es más común para pasado continuo, terminando con un ing, como vimos en presente continuo. Pero a veces utilizamos, en vez del gerundio, utilizamos la preposición to, como vimos por ahí en algunas de las reglas, ¿no? Como me gusta tomar refresco. I like to drink soda, ¿no? Entonces, o I like drinking soda, ¿no? ¿Vale?
Ok.
Ok. Ahora bien, ¿cómo hago preguntas? Pues lo mismo, ¿no? Lo mismo que en presente simple, lo mismo que en presente continuo. Primero escribo aquí mi auxiliar, en este caso el verbo to be, mi sujeto y mi verbo. Ajá. Tenemos were they friends? Was you polite with him? Was the teacher bad? Were the tomatoes ripe? Was your mom at home? ¿No? Entonces, aquí cuando hago preguntas es importante escribir primero was o were. Si yo no estoy utilizando was o were, pues tengo que usar el did, ¿no? Entonces, quedaría como did your room pass, Luis? Did you like it? Did you go to work yesterday? Y siempre cuando tengo esta estructura utilizando un auxiliar, por lo general las respuestas son respuestas cortas, como en el español, en el presente simple, ¿no? Aquí tengo que hacer yes, she did, or no, she didn't. Ajá. O yes, I did, no, I didn't. Entonces, por lo general, las respuestas cortas son aquí. También puedo dar una respuesta larga, pero si mi respuesta es corta, pues hay que acordarnos que tenemos que decir yes, I did. No, I didn't. ¿Hasta aquí alguna duda, alguna pregunta?
No.
No.
No. Ok, vamos a pasarnos al libro. Denme un segundo. ¿Ya ven el libro?
Sí.
Ok. Entonces tenemos getting started. What do you do on a typical weeknight at home? Tell class. Ok, yeah. ¿No? Tenemos aquí, ¿no? Cada uno hacía diferentes cosas en la noche, ¿no? Entonces tenemos ahora la pregunta, what do you do on a typical weeknight at home? So, Kenya, what do you do on a typical weeknight at home?
I watch the movies.
So, what kind of movies do you like to watch?
The Disney and
Okay.
cartoons.
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 Okay, great, excellent. Okay, Carlos, what do you do on a typical weeknight at home?
Well, I used to watch videos at YouTube.
Okay, and what kind of videos do you like to watch on YouTube?
Well, sometimes animes, other times something about animals or anything I find interesting.
Okay, great, excellent. So, at both likes the cartoon, no? The different cartoon is more like Disney, and the other is cartoon talking about a Japanese cartoon, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, great. Okay, so we're going to do the next. We're going to do this exercise, not the same that we was talking. Simple past statements. And we have here, in this case, regular verbs. So we have your simple past regular verbs are verb plus ed. And the negative form is didn't plus verb, but the verb and infinitive.
Yeah.
So I'm going to play the listening of this. You're going to read at the same time. And I need that you talk or repeat now the sentence next to the listening.
Okay.
Okay, give me a second. I need to share my Zoom here. But I think that I'm gonna use my headphones. Okay, give me a second. I'm connecting my headphones.
Page 99. 2.
Can you hear the listening?
Yeah.
Yeah, great. Okay.
Grammar. Simple past statements. Regular verbs. Simple past regular verbs are verb plus ed. The negative form is didn't plus verb.
I played a video game. I didn't play chess.
So I played a video game. I didn't play chess. Can you
Played a
repeat?
video game. I didn't play chess.
I played a video game. I didn't play chess.
Okay, the next.
You studied math. You didn't study English.
You studied math. You didn't study English.
You studied math. You didn't study English.
You study math. You didn't study English.
He watched a movie. He didn't watch TV.
He watched movie. He didn't watch TV.
He watched a movie. He didn't watch TV.
He watched movie. He didn't watch TV.
She wanted to stay home. She didn't want to go out.
She wanted to stay home. Here again. She wanted to stay home. She didn't want to go out.
She wanted to stay home. She didn't want to go out.
She wanted to stay home. She didn't want to go out.
She wanted. She wanted to stay home. Great, excellent.
We cooked Italian food. We didn't cook Chinese food.
We cooked Italian food. We didn't cook Chinese food.
We cooked Italian food. We didn't cook Chinese food.
We cooked Italian food. We didn't cook Chinese food.
They chatted online. They didn't chat very long.
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 Simple past endings.
Watch. Watched.
Watch. Watch.
Watch. Watched.
Watch. Watched.
Invite. Invited.
Invite. Invited.
Invite. Invited.
Invite. Invited.
Play. Played.
Play. Played.
Play. Played.
Play. Played.
Late.
Played.
Study. Studied.
Study. Studied.
Study. Studied.
Study. Studied.
Chat. Chatted.
Chat. Chatted.
Chat. Chatted.
Chat. Chatted.
Ok. Vale. Entonces, antes de que se nos vaya esta pronunciación de aquí, vamos a pasarnos hasta acá abajo. Y tenemos speaking naturally. ED endings. Y tenemos I worked on Saturday, we played a game and I chatted online. Entonces, mi verbo en pasado, el sonido, puede que se recalque al final con una T, con una D o con una I y D, ¿no? I worked, I played, I chatted online. Entonces vamos a hacer este de aquí, que dice listen and repeat the verbs and sentences below. Which verbs end in TRD? Which verbs have an extra syllable and end in ED? Check the correct column. Ya tenemos la primera. I talked to some friends from college. Talked. Talked. ¿Se escucha? Como una T, ¿no? I talked. ¿Vale? Entonces pongo el listening, escuchamos bien la oración y tratamos de indicar si el verbo se escucha con una T o una D al final o se escucha con una D al final, ¿ok?
Okay.
Page 99. 3. Speaking naturally. ED endings. B. Listen and repeat the verbs and sentences below. Which verbs end in t or d? Which verbs have an extra syllable and end in id? Check the correct column. 1. Talked.
I talked to some friends from college.
2. Visited.
Then I visited a classmate.
3. Invited.
She invited me over.
4. Stayed.
I stayed a couple of hours.
5. Watched.
We watched a movie together.
6. Enjoyed.
I really enjoyed my evening.
Ok, ¿quieren que vuelva a repetir el listening o ya los tienen todos?
Ya
Repeat.
los tengo.
¿Otra vez más?
Yes.
Ok.
Page 99. 3. Speaking naturally. ED endings. B. Listen and repeat the verbs and sentences below. Which verbs end in t or d? Which verbs have an extra syllable and end in id? Check the correct column. 1. Talked.
I talked to some friends from college.
2. Visited.
Then I visited a classmate.
3. Invited.
She invited me over.
4. Stayed.
I stayed a couple of hours.
5. Watched.
We watched a movie together.
6. Enjoyed.
I really enjoyed my evening.
Ok, vale. ¿Ya los tenemos todas?
Sí.
Yes.
Vamos a ver. Entonces,
Oh.
Carlos, can you say me the number 2, please?
ID.
Kenya, number 3.
ID.
Carlos, number 4.
T or D.
Kenya, number 5.
T or D.
And Carlos, the last, number 6.
T or D.
Okay. This exercise was really easy, right? Yeah, it's T or D, ED, ED, T or D, T or D, T or D. Ok, pero entonces como podemos ver, hay algunos verbos que casi la mayoría, por lo general, la mayoría terminan con ese sonido de T y D. Y otros que sí se escuchan como el ED, pero si se dan cuenta, es casi siempre, ¿no? Son esos verbos que terminan, por ejemplo, aquí con visit, no, visit, visited, invited, invited. Entonces, tenemos una I y una T, y luego la ED, ¿no? A excepción de want, ¿no? Que es want, wanted, no, want, wanted, ¿no? Study, studied, ¿no? Pero casi la mayoría terminan con una T o una D, ¿no? Played, watch, cooked. ¿Alguna duda, alguna pregunta?
No.
No.
Ok, entonces para terminar vamos a hacer este ejercicio de aquí que dice completed sentences about last night with the simple past from of the verbs. Y tenemos aquí la número 1. I played a video game. So you continue with the number 2 to the number 8. This is really easy. When you got ready, tell me.
Okay.
Si tienen duda de cómo se escriben los verbos, lo pueden buscar en la lista de verbos que les mandé. ¿Vale?
I'm ready.
Okay, are you ready too, Kenia?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, vamos a ver. Pues la primera es played. Entonces, Kenia, ¿cómo quedaría la número 2?
I didn't want to work.
Exactly. I didn't want to work. Number 3, Carlos.
My best friend called me. We chatted for a while.
Exactly. We chatted for a while. Number 4, Kenya.
Yes. I ran it, so I didn't want to go out.
Exactly. It rained. I didn't
Right.
want. Number 5, Carlos.
My friend and I practiced guitar together.
Practiced.
Practiced.
That's my friend and I practiced guitar. Number 6.
I tried to study, but some friend called and invited me to a party.
I tried to study,
To
and
study.
they invited me. Invited.
Bye.
Number 7, Carlos.
Some friends and I cooked dinner together.
Exactly. Cooked. And number 8, Kenya.
I watched a movie, but I didn't like it much.
I watch a movie and I didn't like. Okay, really easy, right?
Huh?
Someone have a question or comment about it?
No.
No.
No, any questions? Okay, so these are irregulars, but well, we need to check at least the next list. Okay, si no hay preguntas, si no hay dudas, vale, vamos a terminar por el día de hoy. Vale, que se queda de tarea. Por ahora sí les voy a dejar tarea. Nada más para reforzar. Es hacer 5 oraciones en pasado simple. Y esas 5 oraciones que hice, las voy a pasar a oraciones negativas. Y esas mismas oraciones que hice en pasado simple, las voy a pasar a pregunta. ¿Vale? Entonces al final tengo que tener 15 oraciones en total. Afirmativa, negativa y pregunta.
Ok.
¿Alguien tiene alguna duda o pregunta de lo que hay que hacer?
No.
No. Vale, entonces vamos a terminar por el día de hoy. Si no hay dudas, si no hay preguntas, nos vemos el día miércoles. See you.
Okay.
Take care. Be healthy.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.